I've been speaking to over 200 people, first home buyers, investors, through my TikTok profile where they book a call with me. From this 200 people, or 206, since I last opened this form about 2 months ago, so big response. Been speaking to like over 100 people per month. In my form, I always ask them this question: have you used a mortgage broker before? And because I'm using Google Forms, which is a free platform and very, very useful, by the way, my answers are blue, red, and orange. Blue being this is my first time, red being I had a bad experience, and yes being I had an okay experience. You'll find out that 48.5% have never used a mortgage broker before. And then 10% of those who answered had a very, very nasty experience. When I asked them, well, what happened? Why did you have that bad experience? There are three common things. Number one, the mortgage broker ghosted the client. Missing in action, don't know where that person is. Number two, bad communication. Just never inform the client where the deal is up to. Number three, shift the blame onto the client. Never on the broker itself, on the client. I'm thinking about my, over 10 years of experience as a mortgage broker. Have I had a client complain about me on these three elements? I can honestly say no. But to be brutally honest with you, does shit happen? Haha, it does. Let me show you how. A typical client journey with a mortgage broker is that the client, meets up with the mortgage broker because they want to buy this property. The mortgage broker will do their homework and, out of their panel of lenders, they go, hey, we have Client goes, let's go with this bank due to rates, features, brand affinity. The MB will go to A bank, which is A over here, and go, hey, what do you need? Bank will have a checklist. Will go, hey, we need your client to satisfy X, Y, Z. Broker and his team will do X, Y, Z because they're representing the client at the moment. And if these X, Y, Zs match the bank's X, Y, Z, the end result is they get the property for the client, and the client can move in and happy days. Now that's just once upon a time, like a fairy tale. This is what really happens. Say the client picks this bank and it's X, Y, Z to get this property. Broker does exactly X, Y, Z. And these set of steps, X, Y, Z goes into Bank World, and I drew a globe, call it Bank World. Bank World comes back and go, I need X, Y, Z, E, F, G. And broker's like, WTF. Now this is the really crucial part, which is the communication between the client and the broker. Now I wouldn't say most mortgage brokers, but those that mostly get complaints, they have an issue with managing conflict, or they don't like conflict. So when the client has been told that, hey, XYZ, get the loan done. But then the mortgage broker realizes that bloody Bank World requires these extra items that no one told him about. And these brokers who hate conflict, because if they go up to the client and go, hey, we actually need more info. And the client will be like this, what? You said this and this, you said XYZ, you said XYZ. And due to this, a lot of brokers who fall under the getting complaints category, what they do is, hey, the client bought a property and it's a 7 days cooling off period, and they expected that, hey, XYZ is provided, should get the loan. What happens is the mortgage broker won't tell them about this stuff, or they'll sort of, try to hide that idea that they need this information. They try to downplay it, or they try to somehow full circle, provide something else to the bank to avoid it. Or they waste the 7 days cooling off by, going back and forth with the bank. Whilst they could just be very transparent with the client and go, hey, I did say we needed this, but the bank system or their process has changed and they require more items. Because at the end of the day, what a mortgage broker is a project manager. We project manage the bank, real estate agents, solicitors, the whole purchase process to make sure that things happen smoothly. And when things don't happen smoothly, when the bank asks for more information, well, our job is to communicate that with the client, regardless if the client is pissed off with us or, not agreeable, because it is what it is. Like last week, and including this week, I have more than 20 clients. About maybe 30% of it was very hairy deals, or the bank fucked up. Unlike some mortgage brokers where they don't like conflict or they try to hide it, I actually approach a client, tell them what's happening. I don't care what they feel, or they might say, hey, I don't like you, I don't like your service. I don't care about that. I'm here to solve the problem. And instead of like hiding or going missing action and trying to avoid the problem, I'll show them, I'll text them hourly updates. I'll be like, hey, I'm speaking to this manager, I'm speaking to the BDM, I'm speaking to the state manager, I'm speaking to the regional manager. I'm showing them on my bloody phone that I'm doing all I can to project manage this purchase so you can get your property. And when you do that and show your clients that, they really appreciate that it's actually not your freaking fault. Even though behind the scenes they freaking blame you anyway. But look, they know that you're trying your hardest. Because at the end of the day, guys, even for mortgage brokers, we forget that we don't control the funds. I don't have the money in my bloody studio at the moment. I can't give you that money. I'm just project managing the whole experience for you to make it smooth. Because people in bank world don't care. They don't care about looking at the existing process and create processes as it comes, suitable to them. And that makes it incredibly hard for us mortgage brokers to follow the process. But then that comes with the territory, which is solving problems when it comes and dealing with it when it comes. What do you guys think? Let me know.